In today's news, Colin Stevens says thank you.
Public officers still await overdue increments.
New York Times named BVI as the #2 place to visit in 2020.
The BVI moves from EU grey list to blacklist, and the premier is baffled.
A live interview as Waverly the Art takes center stage and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle step back from royal duties. These and more stories when 284 News returns. Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Welcome everybody. It's Friday, January 10th, 2020. I'm Ron Grant.
And I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
We are happy it's Friday.
I am happy it's Friday.
Awesome. Let's get right into it. Topping our newscast today. On to an update on a story we brought you in December of 2019. Devastating reports sent shockwaves through the territory as well-known customs officer Colin Stevens was in a tragic car crash that left him in critical condition. Mr. Stevens is said to have underwent major surgery and is recovering. Family and friends were pleased to see and hear Mr. Stevens as he published a video greeting the public as well as taking the opportunity to thank members of the Fire and Rescue Department for their assistance. Not many persons involved in crashes like Stevens make it out to be able to say thank you, but he did. Take a look.
All right now.
Yeah. Good day, guys. Just shouting out the fire station, all the people that came to my rescue. I want to just say a great big thank you for your efforts. Just hearing some of your voices, I knew everything would be alright because I know needed strong power, willpower, and they had countrymen there, yourselves. I had my different cousins, a whole set of people that know me from the community. So I am grateful for your efforts, the response time, and I just want to give you guys a big shout out, telling you that you guys are really, really doing a great job, and I'm just saying a great big thank you for your efforts that you did at the time that you got me out of there, because at times I was feeling like I was gonna give up, but through prayer and at the same time Zebulon, he kept me comforted and stuff like that. He came in, he took charge of comforting me and making sure that everything was going well, because at the time no one wanted to come into the vehicle because it was unstable, and I just saw him climb in. Before all of this happened, before you guys came, I prayed, and I prayed for so many different things, and the Father came through because he sent the willpower, the manpower. He sent strong people to get me out of there, because I'm a big dude. I was helpless because I couldn't, with my injury, I was unable to even help you guys. So I'm just saying a big thank you, job well done, and keep up the hard work.
Now, Kyla, it is still unclear as to what caused him to plunge off Foy Hill that resulted in this tragedy. The matter is still being investigated by the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force. We here at Tweet4 Media continue to wish Mr. Stevens the very best in his recovery. He is in our thoughts and prayers.
Definitely, definitely. 10% of public officers of the Virgin Islands still await their increments for the year of 2016. The government has assured that the increments will be paid by the end of February. Premier and Minister of Finance Honorable Andrew Foy stated during his presentation in the House in October regarding the increments. He said, on June 19, Cabinet approved the payments of 2016 and 2017 increments in lieu of performance increments, with the immediate payment of 2016 increments and a commitment to pay 2017 increments, but not later than the next budget estimate. 90% of public officers have been able to receive their 2016 increments as promised. 250 public officers, which represent the 10%, still awaits their increments. These persons includes persons who had a status change, promotion, or await a new job letter during that time. Deputy Governor Mr. David Archer Jr. and key stakeholders from Human Resources Department, Treasury Department, and Department of Information Technology sought to establish a clear path for the finalization of the payments of increment to the remaining public officers. Mr. Archer Jr. admitted to some challenges but expressed his appreciation for the experience because they now have the chance to perfect the procedure for the processing of the 2017 increments.
Kyla, I know a lot of public officers are pleased to hear this. When you think of persons receiving their increments within the public service and the fact that it is so backdated and the dates go back, it's kind of daunting to know that our system is a little bit screwed and,
Right.
and not well put together in reference to the organization. But I know, a lot of public officers are excited and looking forward to it, and I do hope that as a government, this particular administration is able to kind of zero in and control that a little bit more so that the wait and the overlapping of time is not so long.
But one thing that I've realized, Ron, is that a lot of deadlines were set. Some said before this date, some said before November, and it kind of just keep being extended.
Well, of course, a lot of persons are not going to say this, but I'll be the first to say, remember last year was an election year. So realistically, persons
There
make
was a lot of
promises
promises
that they can't uphold, and now we see, of course, with the budget being set, there's a backlog of stuff like that. But hopefully, they would receive it by the time that they say they will. Still ahead, a wave of art to take center stage. We have a very special interview coming up next to give you the 411 on this amazing event. All of this and more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching Tweet4 News.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050.
Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life.
We will live well.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Viewers, welcome back. As promised, we have the details on the Wave of Art. Here with Ron, we have some guests in studio. So Ron, right over to you.
Thank you, Kyla. As you guys know, Wave of the Art, the second annual Wave of the Art, is set to take center stage this Saturday, starting at 6 p.m. at Paradise Club in King Garden Bay. And with me today are two of the persons that are making it possible, Mr. Javon Klein, organizer, and Via Donovan Hodge, one of the artists that's going to be showcased. Guys, thank you so much. A pleasant good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So, Mr. Klein, let's start with you. This is the second time you're hosting this event.
Yes.
Can you just reiterate for us, where did the concept come from? What's the mission behind it, the purpose of this event?
The genuine purpose of the whole event is creating an opportunity and a space for artists to be able to, especially young artists, to be able to express and display their talents. I believe that as a community and as a culture, we have kind of taken a light away from the importance of art and the arts. And I think it's very important for us to, not just talk about it, but make events and opportunities for people who are actually interested and have those talents to show it and, to kind of bring it back to life in that way.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing because at the end of the day, I think there is still a little bit of a taboo or disconnect whenever a young person growing up says they want to be an artist or they're interested. It's almost like that's not a career. Like, can you pick something a little bit more realistic? But that is far from the truth. No, you have featured a number of artists. Tell us about the lineup.
So this year, we're going to be having Via Donovan Hodge. We're going to be having Hakeem Alton Borty. We have a young man from St. Vincent who's actually taken part this year. His name is Malik Lewis. And we also have one more surprise artist who I agreed to not announce until the night of the event.
All right. Now, the proceeds, the second time around, the first time the proceeds went to the Autism Center. The Autism Center. And this time around, tell us about the charitable organization that's going to be receiving all proceeds that are received from it, because we also have an auction. So this is just not an art show, but persons get to come and bid and purchase the art. So tell us about that aspect.
So like last year, the art show is happening alongside the art auction. So everything that you see, you have the opportunity to go home with.
Nice.
Once you bid on it and you keep your bid going above
is it a silent auction?
It is a silent auction, or at least our version of a silent auction. So you'll have a sheet under each piece of art, and you'll be able to go and put your name and how much you're bidding, so on and so forth. And that continues throughout the night. And last year, like you said, the proceeds went to the Autism Center, and this year the proceeds are going to go towards an initiative by the Rise Foundation called Star Forgers. And what Star Forgers is an initiative that is going to make room and make space for young people who have gifts and talents, or young people who could benefit from extracurricular activities, certain summer programs, certain traveling opportunities, but don't necessarily have the finance to do it, or just needs an extra boost to take them to the level that they need to go. The Star Forgers initiative would be there to sponsor and invest in those young people.
That's pretty incredible. Now, Via, you are one of the featured artists.
Yes.
Tell me about your experience partnering with this event. What does it feel like?
It's great. Last year, Javon asked me to do it, and it was just like, I think having grown up as an artist here and looking for opportunities to display my art and have be able to show people not just I want to sell my art, but hey, this is what I can do, or this is what I want to share with the community. Having that opportunity was amazing, and also being alongside, because I feel like we have a community of artists here, but they might not all know each other or know about each other because of the lack of exposure. So being in a space that there were so many other people that I didn't know created, or so many people that I knew, and I was just like, oh, I didn't know you do that. It was really amazing. And having the support that was there, like I really did not expect the crowd that came out. And then we had like some tourists also come and buy art, so it was amazing, yeah.
Nice. Now, what encouragement would you give to young aspiring artists? Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of young people have a lot of gifts and talents, and they are extremely apprehensive about putting their work out there. As you know, being an artist and putting your work out there puts you in a very vulnerable spot. What encouragement would you give to them, and how do you deal with being that vulnerable as an artist?
Vulnerability as an artist is something that I'm still trying to tackle. I'm letting people in or not putting up my defenses in
That's
order
very honest. Thank
to
you.
defend myself from everything that comes at me. Being advice for artists here, I think, would just be to surround yourself with people that believe in you. I have a great community of friends that have invested their time
Wonderful.
and their efforts into trying to make sure that I don't lose faith in myself and that I have that support system. Don't ever think to yourself, hey, it's just art, or hey, this is just dance, or hey, this is just, you know, this thing that I like to do, but it's never going to be something, because you don't know. And if you really love it, I think that's the thing that matters most. So keep that. Also, I mean, it doesn't really matter, you know, what anybody else really has to say.
Facts.
You create spaces for yourself. And if you don't see the space available in the community, you create the space, you talk to people, you find somebody to talk to. I'm always available. You create the spaces, you create the conversation, and you get something started if that's what you want to do.
That is a great piece of advice, and guys, I am so excited. We'll be looking forward to the event coming through. The entire 284 Media crew is going to be there. Looking forward to just experiencing a great time, and congratulations on putting on another event, and we wish you guys much success. Likewise, Via, as a artist, we wish you much success in all your endeavors. Kyla, back to you.
Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. As we move along, on January 7th, the French Ministry of Economics and Finance announced a decree updating the list of non-cooperative tax jurisdictions. The decree, written in French, translated to state, and I quote, by a decree, Minister of Economy and Finance, Minister of Action and Public Accounts, after the opinion of the Minister of Europe and Foreign Affairs, have updated the list of states and territories not tax cooperatives. This list now includes 13 states or territories, which include Anguilla, the Bahamas, Fiji, Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, Oman, Panama, American Samoa, the Seychelles, Trinidad and Tobago, and Vanuatu, up from 7 previously. The EU reviews many jurisdictions using internationally recognized good governance criteria. The countries that are ultimately blacklisted are those that fail to make a high-level commitment to comply with the agreed good governance standards. Premier and Minister of Finance of the British Virgin Islands, Honorable Andrew Foy, seemed surprised by France's decision to place the BVI on the list of non-cooperative tax jurisdictions. In a statement, Premier Foy said, as our treaty partners, we continue to cooperate with France on an ongoing basis to meet our treaty obligations. However, there appears to be a misunderstanding and possible miscommunication on certain matters which are working with our French partners to resolve. For the duration of our relationship, we have diligently followed the processes laid out in the BVI-France Tax Information Exchange Agreement and will continue to do so. Thus, it is unfortunate that we are included on the French list while working through French requests. The Premier ensured that the BVI is a jurisdiction that always adheres to international standards and maintains good cooperation with jurisdictions around the world. He appeals to to the territory's international partners, reminding them that as a leading international center, the territory will continue to adhere to international standards and will continue to diligently uphold our obligations and commitment to them, which the territory takes very seriously. Still ahead, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle steps down as senior royals. All this and more when 284 News returns.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see you with the competition. Which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
Well, hold on, string bean. Tina kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149. Get LTE 3 for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into Chaz for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Viewers, welcome back. Now that you're next to me, Rod, I think this story that I just spoke about. What are your thoughts on it?
It's always interesting to me to hear leaders say and act surprised when a country's blacklisted, because first of all, you do know the regulations, you do know what should be done and how certain situations should be handled. So for you to act oblivious or surprised is a bit different, and this is not the first time we've been blacklisted. So it warrants exactly what are we doing wrong, and the body that would represent us to make sure that we're following the protocols and the necessary requirements. What's going wrong? Why is it that we're not meeting the requirements? Because we don't want to continuously be blacklisted, of course, but if you make the mistake once, then we should be able to figure out why it's happening again.
I do agree. Some reports were made that the announcement only were brought to our government the 1st of December 2019. So basically, as of the 1st of December, that was the first time that the government was actually hearing about the BVI being blacklisted. After, they heard about that, they reached out to the French authority. And up to now, there were no answer back. But, so on that end, I kind of understand, but I definitely agree with you when you say the surprise factor. I don't think we should sit and act oblivious to what is really going on. I think we have to hold ourselves accountable and put actions in place to see how can we now move forward. Because I think acting surprised, it acts as though we have no fault.
Right, and at the end of the day, running the government or the business of running a country is not a job training program. So we're familiar with what needs to be done, so let's just do it.
Yes, Rod. This week, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, released a statement stating they will be stepping back from their roles of senior members of the British royal family and plan to work towards becoming financially dependent. Ron, this is something we don't hear every day.
Interesting.
This announcement came shortly after the royal couple returned from their holiday vacation, which was spent with their baby son Archie in Canada. The statement, which was released via social media, seemed to caught the royal family and the world by surprise.
Of course.
Apparently, reports were made that the couple did not consult with any members of the royal family about their decision, and apparently members of the royal family were hurt by the statement. The statement was made via the couple's official Instagram account. In the statement, the couple said, after many months of reflection and internal discussion, we have chosen to make a transition this year, they wrote on Instagram, explaining that they hope to carve out a progressive new role within this institution. It went on to further say, we intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially dependent while continuing to fully support Her Majesty the Queen, they said. In the social media post, the couple revealed that they plan to split their time between the UK and North America. This geographic balance would enable us to raise our son with our appreciation for the royal tradition into which he was born, while also providing our family with the space to focus on the next chapter, including the launch of our new charitable entity, they wrote. Rod, I think a lot.
Very interesting.
A lot has happened as it relates to Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
And this is a big one.
It is a big one. A couple of things. The choice of medium and platform in which they shared it. They didn't choose to write a letter. They chose to do it via
First of
social
all,
media.
I'd like to talk about that. I think a lot of things, a lot of important things are being kind of announced on social media. We see where Trump, his first statement about the attack in Iran, that was via Twitter. So we are in changing times.
We're in changing time, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think with the changing times that we should lose class and dignity and grace. When you think of the royal family and you think of what they represent, like any other family, they have their qualms or they have their differences, but I think in the interim, the respect and precedence that the royal family comes with should be adhered to. Now, they're a young couple. They have a bright future ahead of them, so I'm not surprised that they've chosen to step back, because they do have to look at the fact that Meghan, prior to being in the royal family, was a well-known actress and has her own entire life going on. Harry himself perhaps has a different medium. So we see where, from the very beginning, they've been a very unorthodox couple and very different. However, I do think that the class and dignity should remain, and I think it serves as a really good example for the viewing audience as well, so that they know that perhaps maybe when we think about it, the announcements and social media, perhaps it's not always the right platform, particularly when it comes to something like this.
Agreed.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Hit by Hurricanes Irma and Maria in 2017, the British Virgin Islands have been slow to recover, but this year a number of resorts will reopen, including Rosewood Little Dix Bay, the iconic resort originally developed by the conservation-minded Lawrence Rockefeller in 1964, which was under renovation when the storms hit. It opened this month. On Norman Island, planned developments for 2020 include 3 hotels, a marina, and an observatory. Offshore, the ship William Thornton, which once housed the floating bar known as Willie T, was damaged and is now part of an article relief. But a new vessel has replaced it. Many properties have a new environment focus. Necker Island, the private island owned by Sir Richard Branson, will finish rebuilding by April and introduce uniforms made by recycled plastics found in the ocean. In 2019, the resort installed wind turbines that have enabled it to run on up to 90% renewable energy. In summer of 2020, the Bitter Island Yacht Club will open a new marina using recycled materials and a market to provision boat cruise. Accommodations are scheduled to follow in the fall. Cooper Island Beach Club on Cooper Island, a 15-minute water taxi ride from Tortola, plans to offer packages combining island stays with different free sailing tips, new abroad, electronic-powered yacht for voyage charters. This is an article, what I just read was an article published by the New York Times naming the British Virgin Islands as the number 2 place to visit worldwide out of 52 spots in 2020. Kyla, we have always knew that our paradise was second to none, but now thanks to the New York Times, the rest of the world does too. I think this is not only fitting, but it comes at a very integral point as we are making preparations. A lot of our key resorts, as we just mentioned, are going to be reopened in 2020. So, of course, to be recognized by the wonderful folks over there at the New York Times and seen as one of the top 52, not just 52, but we're number 2 on that list of places to visit. I think we should continue to remember the paradise we live in and just enjoy it and take care of it.
I agree. I always knew that the people over at the New York Times were really smart people, but glad this confirmed it.
Indeed.
That's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And I'm Ron Grant. We'll see you again on Monday as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday, so you know what I mean. Okay? I'm going to see you.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.